What's up, everyone? This is your Ticket to Reality. We are back to talk some more reality TV. I am your host, TJ Zwarich, editor-in-chief of Agents Of Fandom.com, joined as always by my fellow agents, Emma and Ryan, as well as finalist of season 2 of The Circle Netflix, Lee Swift. We don't have much on the docket for today. You know, we don't have a show we're breaking down and covering, so we're using it as a catch-up week. I got a little game planned. I know Lee has a little bit of a pitch for us. We're going to break down the things we are watching right now. Before we do so, make sure you're following Ticket to Reality on Instagram, on Twitter, and make sure you check out the Agents of Fandom YouTube page where you can find all of the episodes of Ticket to Reality as well as wherever you get your podcasts. Now, I'm not watching much reality TV these days. I've been busy. I actually have caught up on most of Love is Blind. Ava's been watching it. I wasn't really planning on diving in, if I'm being honest. I almost had to break my promise to Sam just based on how disappointed everyone was with the finale. But Ava's been watching it, and I've been catching part of it with her. Em, I want to throw it to you first. What have you been watching? I know you're excited to talk about Below Deck. And what have you been up to?
Yeah, so life has been pretty wild, but I have been watching Below Deck. It was one, Lee had mentioned it before, and it was one of those shows I was like, I need to get into this eventually. But my partner, who doesn't normally watch a lot of reality TV, he was like, oh, I've, seen some clips of this on TikTok. Like, we should watch it. I was like, absolutely, yes. So as soon as I hear him say, let's watch a reality show, immediate yes for me. So we started getting into it, and it started from season 1, episode 1, and we're like, we'll just kind of check it out, see how it is, and we've been hooked. So I am absolutely loving it. It is so messy and chaotic, and something that we've talked about is that it's a different type of reality show than, like, obviously it's not a dating show, but it's a little bit different. Chris, my partner, says he likes it because it's not quite, I don't know how the producers and the editing and stuff work with this type of show, but it's not quite the same as like Love is Blind, where and The Bachelor, where like a lot of that is probably scripted. This just seems to be just chaos, and everybody's they're doing their job on the boat, but they're just getting into all sorts of shenanigans. And I don't know anything about yachting or boating because obviously I'm not rich, but no. I've never been on a yacht, but it's really fascinating to just see the dynamics, and it's a fun show where we can sit and yell at the TV at the people being weird, and yeah, so I highly recommend it. I've been having such a fun time.
Do you like Captain Lee?
I do. The first season, he's definitely a hard ass, and I'm like, I get it because he's a captain. Sometimes with like me, just the way that like some of the bosses I've had before, where I get like kind of resistant to bosses that are like super hard ass, but like he's a captain of a yacht, so like I do get it. And some of the crew, like just some of the stuff they do, it just blows my mind. So I respect him.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Yeah. He little known fact, it's not really in the show, but he actually lost a son to addiction. So but he's incredible. And you're going to meet you haven't got other captains yet, have you? How far in are you?
We're on season 2, so
you'll meet some other captains for different. I mean, he comes back a lot of time because like he's in Florida, so. But it is kind of like a frat house.
Yeah.
On this one. Frat and sorority house all on the boat, I'm like, but my thing is some of the rich people are just, sorry,
God.
they're awful.
They're horrible.
Some of them.
Like,
there's some nice stars, but some of them.
Yeah, most. It's just solidified it for me. Like, some of we just sit there and like, especially like season 1 and 2, like so far season 2, I think both of the first 2 charters, they were just terrible. Like, there's some of the people, these guys that are like being inappropriate with the stewardesses, like just straight up just saying like to it's Kate, who's the chief stew right now, and they're like, you don't smile, like you're coming off bitchy, and I'm just like, oh my God, it just like hurts my soul to see these people. Oh God, and I know they're paying a lot of money for this, but like they're awful, just terrible people.
I know, they're awful. I would be horrible. I would not be able to be in that line of work, And Ryan, on the other hand, would be great. He's so good at kissing, you know what?
Segue. I would have Ryan here. I'm not gonna let them give you shit, my man. Thank you. Been watching, and I know you had a super busy day today with CinemaCon running the Agents of Fandom socials.
Oh man, yeah, no, it has been a very busy week. It's only Tuesday, so it feels like it's a Thursday or Friday, which I mean. Anyways,
exact conversation that Emma and I mishmashed conversation, and Emma and comma came out. That's the exact conversation Emma and I had before you guys hopped in here. Emma was like, "Oh, it's just been such a long week," and I was just like, "Lemon, it's Wednesday." I thought that 30 Rock gift was the only like getting thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's oh my god, yeah, this week has been very busy already. But in terms of reality TV, I haven't been watching any since Love Is Blind has ended. I've been mainly watching more serialized series stuff. Obviously Succession. Shout out to Evan Blevins for getting us on that series, especially during its final season, because it's, I mean, as someone who like binged everything to lead up to catch up, this season 4, this final season of Succession is like the best of the series so far. Like, there's a reason why on IMDb it's like almost consistently 9s, if not close to a 10. I mean, again, it's not reality, but it relates to just rich people, sure. So let's, it's kind of based on real life people. So it's a little bit of a leeway here. It's just great storytelling, beautiful cinematography. I just can't, as someone who went to business school, I still don't understand the business lingo that they talk about on the show, but that's not what you're there for. You're there for the acting. You're just there for the drama. Even if you don't get it, you're just like, I don't understand that, but I know someone got shit on, basically, in some way. I don't get the logistics of it, but like, the way and that's the thing, it's the way they act, it's the way they respond to certain things, and you're like, oh, that seems like a bad thing that was said. I don't know, 12% of your shares went, I don't know, regardless, that's what I love about the show, is that even if you don't understand any of the things they talk about, you can still go in, enjoy the characters, the very complex characters. It's so hard to find who you really like and stick with that, because they make certain decisions that you may not agree with, but they're just so layered. So that's
this is the like most hyped I've seen people for this type of show since Suits.
Yeah.
Suits is that type of show where, like, for the first few seasons, where everyone was like, I am a lawyer now. I want to be a lawyer. I need to watch this show every week when it's coming out to make sure it's not spoiled, because like it's must see television. I feel like it kind of has very similar vibes. I haven't seen Succession yet, but I do want to know, Emma and Ryan, your take on this. The night that like the big major episode happened, it was spoiled for me on Twitter. Should I start it?
Yeah. Yes.
Knowing these things so many seasons down the line, like knowing like the biggest spoiler of the show, I kind of get similar vibes to like Game of Thrones. It's like, do I start it when I know I'm going to be disappointed by the end? Do I start it when I know all of the things that happen are going to lead to that?
I vote yes still. I think Garrett, also had the same experience where he knew what happened, but he's been catching up, because I think it's very, and Ryan, get your take on it too, but I think personally, like, I mean, it's a huge thing, but the fact that happened so early in the season, we have no idea at this point, like how it's gonna play out. So I think there's still so many other like just rich like characters and acting, and just like Ryan said, just like the cinematography, like everything about it is just such good TV to watch, and it's so like drama filled that I think it's definitely still worth a watch.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I think knowing that thing and I think that doesn't really ruin the experience because it's about the journey of like these characters and because this is about a rich white family who owns a media corporation. It's just seeing them all try to gain power over one another, and it's just that dynamic that's so interesting to watch. And specifically for like that episode where a spoiler big thing happens, that's like one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. And there's a reason why it's like number 2 on IMDb. I'm gonna keep referencing them just because that's what a general thing that people use to rate TV shows and movies. It's like that's like the second highest like rated show with like over 100,000 reviews, and I think the first one is like an episode from Breaking Bad. So to have it kind of on that level where again it's not really like the show that would seem like for everyone, but the fact that there's this many people watching and rating it that highly, and yeah, that's like where the peak of like their acting, their storytelling, because again, without spoiling it, like that, a lot of that episode feels so real, and just even the technical stuff of like how they shot it, I never was expecting to like the show, so I'm just gonna sing this praises because I can here. Basically, they shoot on film, and what they do is like have these 3 cameras around every room that they're in, and when the film runs out, when the film is about to run out, they load in quickly. They hide like reels around the set and just load it in very quickly before the reel runs out. I'm just like, that's freaking genius. It's a lot. As someone who's like studying film, that's like something I just really appreciate so much, is like how they work around things like this. And this is like such a digital age, but they're still working on film. So it's stuff like that where, again, like, anyways, long-winded answer, yes, watch the show. It's great.
I'm in a very similar boat to you, Ryan, where a lot of the stuff that's occupying my time is not reality TV based. I just had to write up a review for episode 7 of Ted Lasso up at agentsofandom.com. You can also, I also just finished the screeners for and wrote up a review for Sweet Tooth season 2 over on Netflix, as well as Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story over on Netflix. I didn't expect that one, since this will, by the time this drops, this is going to be post embargo, so we're good to go. I didn't expect it to be as connected to the Bridgerton story as it was, with it being about Queen Charlotte. I just kind of thought it would be fully prequel, but there's a decent amount of the story, probably like a third of it, that is entwined in like the present day Bridgerton universe as well. So that was pretty exciting to find out. And then I still have to watch and review a movie I'm incredibly excited about. A friend of the Agents of Fandom podcast, Carolina Ravassa, one of the voice actors in Overwatch, as well as Valorant. And she is giving her directorial debut in a movie called Morgan's Mask that she's also starring in, about a cosplayer and the pandemic. A lot of mental health stuff, and I'm really excited to dive into that one as well. It's coming out on Amazon Prime April 28th, so make sure you check that one out. And then this weekend, I'm going to the Calgary Expo, and I'm hopefully going to meet Hayden Christensen and Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio and David Harbour and Andy Serkis. I'm so excited. It's going to be an incredible time. Lee, you have been a very, very busy guy. So I want to know what you've been watching, but also, like, you've been doing some writing. Tell me what you've been up to.
A lot of writing. But before I do that, I want to say in my family, it's very similar to Succession. No.
I was like, where was it going?
We argue over, did you eat my apple? That's the big thing, that was my apple. Yeah.
It's pretty much, I'm wondering, company. No,
I'm wondering if I should say the thing in Succession, because to me, it was obvious that it was going to happen. So should we spoil it? No, I won't.
No, absolutely.
But I loved how Ryan kept saying, "I'm saying,"
the thing,
This is a show though that, like, even though we're a reality TV podcast, this is a show that has dominated so much of people's timelines that even if I feel like this is a relevant conversation for a lot of people of like, oh, I was going to start it, but I had this spoiled. Do I still start it?
For sure.
Yeah. And honestly, a reality show where you could call it Succession, and where everybody is like, there's this big prize and you only get percentages of it, and you got that could work. That'd be fun.
Hold on to your reality TV shows ideas, because you're going to need them for the game that I have planned later on. We had a little tease for our viewers. Lee, remind me to talk to you about this off air, because Ryan brought up how Garrett is going through a similar experience with Succession. And people who don't know Garrett is the director of content and editorial over at Agents of Fandom. He was frequently with us when we first started up this podcast, until we realized Ryan's just better, and we brought Ryan in.
This defamation.
I knew you'd like that one, Lee. I knew you'd like that one. But we might be seeing a little bit more of Garrett again on the Ticket to Reality podcast here soon. And so that's going to be very exciting as well. But no more dilly-dallying, Lee. What are you watching?
I am watching The Voice like mad. It is absolutely, and I've watched some its competitor, or their competitors, which is American Idol, and they're really amazing. I mean, I would say of those two shows, I don't know if you guys have watched them or not, but The Voice is more people that are seasoned, that have, not all of them, but they have more experience, careers in the mid-level. And to me, American Idol is much less people off the street, people. So they're two different things to me, but I absolutely am loving both of them for different reasons. I lean towards The Voice because I love the whole concept of they don't see them at the beginning, and it's strictly their voice. And so I love that. I love that thing. It's kind of Love is Blind. It's the idea of you're making it on other things other than physicality and looks and stuff. So I love that concept. I am so far behind, and none of you all watch Survivor, do you?
Yeah,
I'm such a huge Survivor fan, but because, like you were saying, TJ, I've got so many things percolating all of a sudden, all at once. I'm so far behind. I have them all. My mom watches it. That's something we watch together typically. And she went to visit my sister when it kind of was starting. And I just said, I've got it's like halfway through, and I'd try to get into it. So, yeah, that's the one I really need to get going. But those are it. And I love Below Deck. Emma, you're making me want to go back and watch stuff again. So it's so good. It's so messy and fun.
So messy. And then I have to ask you, how is American Idol now? Because I used to watch it religiously with my parents when I was younger. I mean, it came out, I don't know, I was in like middle school or something. I don't remember when it came out. But we used to sit there and watch it like if it came out like 2 days a week or whatever, we would sit there. So like how are the who are the hosts now? I've always been kind of curious how it is now.
Yeah, it's Luke Bryan is a country singer, Katy Perry, and Lionel Richie.
Okay.
And they are really, it's a pretty positive show. You know how in the old days they were kind of snarky.
Everybody.
The other thing I hated in the early shows was that they would kind of mock some people that had issues clearly, and so I had trouble with that. And I think all that's kind of gone. It seems like I have. But I think it's really good. And they tell really cool stories about, the struggles some of these people have had, different things, losing family members, mental health issues, all kinds of things, and how they're overcoming all that. So I really like the show a lot. And The Voice the same, they getting into anything that is about content, whether that's music, books, film, podcasts, whatever. It's a lot of work, and sometimes you feel like you're just, fighting a losing battle. But you just got to keep on keeping on, And kudos to TJ and Garrett and Ruben for this, because it's amazing what they're building. I'm proud to be my little part of it. So pretty cool. And I will say, let's nix Ryan and bring Garrett.
No, see, what's gonna happen is when Garrett comes back, we're gonna just tag team on you and just that.
Oh, is that how it's gonna work?
Yeah, it's gonna be me who takes a step back, and then you're just gonna have to deal with Ryan and Garrett coming at you all the time.
Yeah.
And Emma's not gonna be able to protect him.
Yeah.
Giggling entire time.
There's only so much I can
will. You will. I say bring it. I'm like an MMA fighter in this realm.
Oh,
Bring it.
Lee Swift and MMA fighter the same sentence. I didn't really think that, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I'll never, kind of jump in because I obviously love reality TV, so I love to sit and watch it out. So I'm just gonna sit and watch it.
Let's go. No, I want. So basically, I'm halfway through a children's book with a friend of mine that we work on a lot. A horror comedy film. This friend of mine who's a big New York Times bestselling author. She and I. This is the first time she's ever. Well, I say that in high school. I think she wrote some scripts for plays, but this is the first time she's done sort of that venue. And we sent it out, and although we got some notes back, it's getting great reception. So I may be able to tell you more about that. And what else am I doing? Oh, I've got a musical that we're hoping we will get. We're done with it, kind of finishing up a few songs, and we're hoping in the fall we're going to have a concert version of it at it's AT&T Performing Arts Center. So it's about 100 seats, but it'd be about a 2-week run called the Elevator Project. So that we're getting really we're in the running. We'll see. We should know by June. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about, because I have this idea, and just before we leave on our podcast, let's talk about this. I have this idea of a reality, basically murder mystery idea, where it's based on a reality TV show.
Okay.
And what do you think? I mean, but it's not a reality show, clearly. It's a murder mystery. What? Go ahead.
Actual murder.
Actual murder. It'd be either, I don't know, it wouldn't be a movie, but maybe a book. But I've been thinking about it, trying to think, well, how can you base a story around reality TV? But maybe it should be around a podcast, and my first victim would be Ryan. I think that would be the way to go.
I actually love the idea of like a reality show thing, murder mystery book or something, because I think that's a really cool setting for like a mystery.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I think the way you bounced off Lee's idea was like, I really love the idea of killing Ryan. I was like, oh, TJ, you go ahead.
Honestly, I think any medium would work, whether it's book or TV series or movie. Yeah. The idea of setting the stage with like contestants they win the what's the word I'm looking for? The privilege of being on a reality TV show, and then it turns into a murder scene, and it turns into a murder mystery. That was like they tried to do a live show on the first episode, so the internet is chiming in, and that's how the world's greatest detective catches wind. I mean, maybe we're just writing Knives Out 3 at this point.
Yeah, I was going to
Knives Out 3.
I was
kind of not a bad idea.
It reminds me of this episode of Psych where they do, I don't know if anybody here watch Psych, but
I love Psych.
But, I love it so much. We watch it literally all the time. So if anybody's wondering what I'm watching, it's usually either Gilmore Girls or Psych. But there's an episode where they have like a Bachelor style, and it's like a murder of the week, whatever. But there's like a Bachelor style episode where they had to go undercover on the Bachelor, and then chaos ensues. But obviously there's a murderer. I didn't explain that well, but you know what I mean.
No, you did. That was perfectly fine. But loved it.
Have a back like it's a husband and wife who are hosting. The wife has a background in some sort of law enforcement, and she like understands detective work, and the husband, big puzzle guy, real big puzzle guy, loves putting things together. He's a famous Twitch streamer who figures out conspiracy theories. And and they are the two hosts of this show. They don't actually have to be husband and wife. They just are the two hosts of the show.
Is it Nick Lachey? Oh, no, it's just kidding.
This kind of as we're pitching an idea for a movie, this does bring me to the game I want to play, though, because today we're going to play some pitch your own reality TV show. I have some categories for each of you, and I want the three of you to decide on kind of a consensus answer for each of these, and we can sort of pitch our own reality TV show. So,
Okay, I'm ready.
first things first. I apologize as my dog is fighting behind me here as I try and explain this. But first things first, I want a setting.
Okay.
Is our reality TV show going to be a paradise? We're talking Love Island. We're talking Too Hot to Handle. Our contestants are in their Speedos and their bikinis. They're showing some skin. Is it rough terrain? We're talking Survivor, but not necessarily always hot. Like, they have to fend for themselves. This could be cold outside. It's in a terrain that is very difficult. Or are they inside? Are we talking Big Brother? Are they all living in the same house?
Oh,
I feel like
Are we all pitching together? Is this a pit?
Yeah.
Group?
I guess you can have their own ideas, but like, let's decide together what we want to roll with.
I think we do subterranean, and it's a maze.
whoa.
and it's a maze that they have to work through to get to food, to get to comfort, and the hut that walls come up. They're little mice chasing their cheese.
okay. I mean, I
Don't move my cheese.
do like that. I think I also
All I need you to answer right now is the location.
not,
There's questions coming for the future. Just the sound.
okay. I
This may take us half an hour just to
That's totally on.
I prefer inside.
Yes. Yeah. I think the claustrophobia of being inside is like, I mean, we'll see what's gonna happen in these next few questions, but that claustrophobia is gonna be interesting to play out.
All right. Next thing. Is it? Yeah, you don't get to decide, Lee. You're already out. Come on, run.
I'm out.
Hey. Round two, we're bringing you back in, though, so you don't have to worry. Is this a dating show?
Oh.
A contestant competing against each other in games show? Or other? Do you have a different type of pitch that doesn't fit either of those mold?
Like a Real Housewife, something like that.
Yes.
I would say other, just because that's what I've been into lately.
Other. Emma's been in other.
Other. You have to have
Emma, what can you please specify?
I don't have any ideas past that. I was hoping someone else had an idea.
Emma's into
I'm not allowed to talk.
Let's go with a below deck type of thing, somewhere in like a workplace type of environment where you're not really,
Ooh, good.
but it's just chaotic. I'm thinking maybe like, I don't know, like a restaurant, like some sort of like, because I guess like boating is like a really interesting, like everybody's like locked together. Maybe some sort of like restaurant type of thing, or
Vanderpump.
what was that? Oh, Vanderpump. Yeah,
Vanderpump Rules.
yeah, something like that, where like it's like a bit. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
How about a strip club?
Oh, okay. I mean, wait. Someone will watch it. I'm pretty sure. You don't.
Nobody's done it.
Yeah.
Nobody's done it that I know of.
What about it's focused on, it's like a fancy, like very big name restaurant, and it's focused on the servers.
Yeah,
Owners, it's not the chef. We've seen lots of chefs, but it's focused on the servers. And there's various competitions involved as well. There's competition nights that affect various things within the restaurant, that affects the hierarchy within the restaurant. But it's more so focused on like the day in the life.
I like it.
I'm for it.
Yeah.
Maybe this would be like kind of like a movie set or something.
Oh,
I don't know how that would work, but I just thought of it.
Now, my final thing that we got to lock in for this pitch is will there be money involved? Will there be people who are competing against each other within this setting? Or is it strictly just we are watching people work?
What do you guys think? Because I feel like
Money always brings different tension, it does, I mean, of course I'm getting paid $10,000 for this podcast. You guys,
where's that coming from?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Was I supposed to say that on what? Here to let's see.
If you think for a second we have that type of money, it will be going directly to Ryan.
Oh,
You're crazy.
yeah.
Get Ryan an iPad so that this dude doesn't give us green text from Androids all the time. Like, that's the first place we're spending money, is getting Ryan an Apple device so that we can iMessage him and so that he knows
I'm
that we have
happy.
podcasts an evening, even though we've talked to put it all day and none of us filled him in.
Oh yeah, because we're chatting with each other.
Get this man an Apple device.
And then
Not really, Ryan.
Emma said she was going to ask Ryan for ideas.
Did I?
And so I that she did. So this isn't me. This is Emma, but it's not Emma's fault either because she had a tough week. So back off, Ryan.
Whoa,
Slack.
whoa there. Oh God, I need Garrett on the show. I need support.
I don't think I actually did say that. So
Defamation lawyer.
have the so,
You got the receipt, ladies and gentlemen.
Sending
You got the
next
receipt.
but I would fully. That's something I 100% would forget. It could happen.
Either way, I'm here.
It says we'll go to Lee, Ryan, and TJ. It didn't say that she would talk to Ryan specifically.
Oh,
Back to my fault. Stop making me feel so fucking bad, Ryan.
oh God,
Get off my back. I've got a lot of big...
Ryan, you're so harsh. You're so harsh, Ryan.
oh wow.
I'm thinking for this reality TV show we're pitching, it's kind of boiling down to the world's greatest server type thing, where various servers from various restaurants come together at this new restaurant competing for a title and the job of the head server at this new expensive restaurant that is going to be open, where they will make lots and lots of money. Almost like a what's Lizzo's show called again? She had a TV show where it's like a reality TV show where there's different dancers competing, and it's called like something Big Girls, I think.
Watch out for the big girls. Like just GRRRLS.
Yes. And it's where like she picks people who would often have been like discriminated against for their size, but are phenomenal dancers that she ends up taking on tour with them. And it's not necessarily one winner. It's just, are you cut out to join this restaurant? We got some Netflix. We'll talk to you because we know you are listening. This is too specific for you not to give us.
Oh, please. They could steal it. Please, anybody can steal. We put it out on the air.
I will be said that we do have a lot of big, exciting things coming with various different reality TV shows, as we have potential interviews coming up with the brand new The Ultimatum Queer Edition, as well as Drink Masters and 90 Day Fiancé, 30 Day Fiancé, 90 Day Fiancé, 90 Day Fiancé as well. And so big things coming. Numbers. I my other job is all sports numbers all day. You can't expect me to keep this in track. I just know that we're Ticket2Reality. If I start saying Ticket4Reality or something like that, that's, you got to worry about me. But lots of big things coming. So make sure you subscribe to the Ticket2Reality podcast wherever you get your pods. You can also find it up on the Agents of Fandom YouTube page, as well as make sure you follow at Ticket2Reality on Twitter as well as Instagram. We're going to